was fine that morning in April. The winter had been warm. Already the blossoms were out, and in the fields, plowing had begun. But the farmers were not at their plows that day. They had taken their muskets and formed a line on the green in the village of Lexington.
Disperse, ye rebels! Why don't ye lay down your arms and disperse?
Stand your ground. Don't fire unless fired on. But if they mean to have a war, let it begin here. The bud of freedom had been swelling for a long time, and on the 19th of April, 1775, it burst into bloom at Lexington and Concord in Massachusetts. What were the freedoms these men were fighting for? Freedom to govern themselves. Freedom to elect the representatives who would levy their taxes. Personal liberty. An air of freedom that would soon nurture a driving urge to build and grow. In nearly 200 years since the colonies began, there had been settled only a narrow strip along the coast. The new United States was a long, thin country with an unplumbed continent at her back. But then that driving urge came welling up. In the heady air of freedom, it could not be contained. Beyond the old frontier, there was a world of topsoil waiting for the pluck. Under the rolling bulge of the land lay deep layers of minerals. Forests of lumber. The people filled their lungs with the air of freedom and went to work. To do the job, they had the strength of their backs. The strength of their backs. The muscles of their animals. And the force of falling water. Water power to turn the grist mills, to run the saws and the looms.
I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee, and I'm going to California, but through my furnace sea. It rained all night the day I left, the weather it was dry, but the sun so hot I froze to death. Susanna, don't you cry. Oh, Susanna, oh, don't you cry for me. I'm going to California, but through my furnace sea. Oh, Susanna, oh, don't you cry for me. I'm going to California, my true love furnace sea.
Finally, they discovered new power in water, steam power, and the continent was spanned by a steel highroad. In just about 100 years, they had given the country a new, spacious shape.
We have vanquished the frontier. We stand on the pinnacle of civilization.
Yes, a century after Lexington, the Sunday orators could get rhetorical about the way things had turned out. They thought the job was practically done, that pioneering was just about over. Others suggested that the patent office be closed, since everything had already been invented. But they were wrong. All this time, through all this empire building, another kind of pioneering had been going on. It began 25 years before the Battle of Lexington, and was not concerned with muskets and ox wagons, but with some odds and ends, like a salt cellar, a vinegar cruet, a pump handle, which belonged to one Benjamin Franklin of Philadelphia. He was experimenting with a phenomenon he called electric fire. and he made his apparatus out of whatever household goods came to hand. Everyone knows how he made a silken kite and flew it in a thunderstorm to prove that lightning and electricity were one and the same. But he also made the first electric battery. He discovered the positive and negative properties of electricity. His writings, which contained the original language of electricity, were translated into German, French, and Italian. He was celebrated everywhere as the world's first electrical scientist. But the growing struggle for liberty claimed his attention. He laid aside his bottles and jars and turned to the cause of freedom. His pen, in editing Jefferson's original words, gave the Declaration of Independence its final form. Down the expanding years, here and abroad, new experimenters picked up where Franklin had left off. These men, too, were pioneers, thriving on the air of freedom, from Samuel Morse, inventor of the telegraph, tapping out his first message, "What hath God wrought?" To another great pioneer, exploring an unknown frontier amid the well-settled surroundings of Menlo Park, New Jersey. Thomas A. Edison, after more than 6,000 individual experiments, had finally developed an incandescent lamp that would burn for 40 hours. This arduous and costly enterprise was supported from the very beginning by still other pioneers, a group of investors who in October 1878 actually formed a company to invent an electric light. Like all the other accomplishments since Lexington Day, this one too was nurtured by the atmosphere of freedom, and it was destined to expand and multiply our freedoms beyond all imagining. Here was a light that was to show the way to one of the most significant single developments the world had ever seen, the electrification of nearly all human endeavor. Even after the light would work, it was no more than a curiosity unless people could somehow get electricity to use it. Edison envisioned a central generating station to manufacture electricity and a network of wires to deliver it to customers. To bring his dream to life, there had to be created in one stroke the whole foundation of our electrical age: generators, cables, switches, junction boxes, conduits, meters. The birth of modern electric power systems took place in 1882. The dynamos started in the Pearl Street steam station in New York City, and in the Midwest, hydroelectric stations had their beginnings. No longer would light, heat, and power have to originate at the points where they were to be used. They could be delivered by wire from central power stations. For electricity, as Benjamin Franklin knew, was heat and power, as well as light. Many other pioneers already saw the power possibilities, and they were developing a device called the electric motor. Here was the strength of men's backs, the muscles of their animals, and the power of the water wheel in one package. Now there were companies manufacturing something that no one had ever made and sold before. They were manufacturing the most versatile power of all time, electric power, and delivering it through wires no bigger than your fingers. Here was courage to build and grow, but courage also to back progress up with cash. A pioneering spirit on the part of people everywhere: the bank cashier, the harness maker, the shoe clerk, the school teacher, the ordinary everyday people who invested their savings and gave the young power industry strength to expand. They, the shareholders, as much as the inventors and engineers, brought about a great revolution. When a world that had plodded down the centuries suddenly found out how to use a force that had waited to go to work since before the daybreak of history. Now, in one lifespan, the future came rushing in like an avalanche. Here was power, unbelievably versatile power, titanically muscle power, leaping to any task. Incredibly delicate power, responding with instant precision to the tiniest signal. hot power melting and fusing metals, or gently warming a sleeping child. Magic power soaring through space to link man with man. Brilliant power lighting the way to a better world. Above all, here was power for freedom, power to expand existing freedoms, power to create new freedoms. Add new freedom to enjoy contact with the wider world and all it had to offer. Greater freedom for social contact, new freedom of the mind. Add a revolutionary new freedom, freedom from drudgery. With the birth of the electrical age, a nation's standard of living surged forward. The nerve center of the new way of life is the dispatcher's center of the utility that serves your community. This is where they route the power, where they plot the day's power requirements for everything from making toast or brewing the morning coffee to running factory assembly lines and turning on the light over the operating table in the hospital. You see, the product these men handle can't be stored. It has to be manufactured, transported, and used by customers all in the same instant. The heart of the system, the heart of the age your community lives in, the generating plant. It is still the old principle of the water mill. Turn a wheel and produce power. Power that can be carried by wire. Hydroelectric plants use falling water to turn the wheels in country where mountain lakes can be harnessed. But the biggest percentage of United States power comes from superheated steam, driving turbine generators. Electricity is produced at 13,800 volts. Transformers step it up as high as 230,000 or more volts. And it speeds over the transmission lines, wires connecting the turbine generator with factories, stores, homes throughout the community.